Al, you know how we like to rank things on this here podcast.
True.
So we're going to do some ranking of things
Neat.
on this here podcast.
What-
Specifically this episode.
What's this here podcast? Tell.
You know, it's this weird podcast that we do.
Give me a
It's
little
okay.
title.
Thank you, Director Al. I'll convey to the audience what you're trying to tell me. Hello, welcome to this week's episode of the Season Lamb Checkup OVA. It's a podcast where we have conversations about video games, anime, and manga. Hello, I'm Jared, joined as always by Doc Al and Lady
Hello.
This is episode number 281, and we're gonna rank some Mario games, but not all the Mario games because there's too many Mario games to rank
Too many.
fully.
Too many.
So we're trying to stick to more like mainline games.
We made some tough choices before we even started.
Yeah. There's a lot of spin-off series, obviously, with the Mario series. And, like, we were like, we can't put all of those on here because we'll be here for, like, ever.
Yep.
So we decided to cut out a bunch of the side series. So if you're like, where's the Mario Kart?
Make your own list.
Where's the Mario Party?
Make your own
Where's
list.
the sports games? Where's Paper Mario? Where's Mario and Luigi? Where's Mario Teaches Typing?
And Mario
They
Teaches
ain't
Typing
here.
too. And Mario Paint.
And BS Mario Paint.
Yeah,
They ain't here.
They're not here. They're not here. I have to look out.
They couldn't make it.
Nope.
Yeah.
They're running late.
It's too many games. Too many games.
Yep.
But yeah, we got mostly mainline series stuff here. How many games do we actually have here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22 games.
The games.
That's, you know, it's a decent amount of games. If this was the full list, it would have been like 100.
Yeah, it would have been insane.
And we would have been like, oh, God.
Just like
but anyways,
sleeping after, or like by the end of it.
yeah, we're going to rank Mario games.
Mhm.
Because we've played a lot of these Mario games.
Yeah.
Some of them we've both played.
Uh-huh.
Probably a majority of them we've both played.
Uh-huh.
Some of them either you've played or I've played, so we'll just take that into account.
Okay.
But yes, we're going to start with Mario Bros. It's going to go straight to the top of the list, obviously, because there's only one game on the list so far.
Wow, congrats on being number 1, Mario Brothers.
Congratulations on being number 1. Mario Brothers is a weird game because it's just like, it's obviously an arcade game first and foremost.
Yes.
And like, it's definitely not the Mario game I would go back and want to play
Nope.
religiously, but
Nope.
it sure is a game, and it's at least available places
Yeah.
if you want to play it.
Yeah.
Like, I think it is an Arcade Archives title that you can get on Switch, so that is convenient and nice to have. But like, yeah, it's all right.
Then you'll play like once or twice and then never look at it again once you
Yeah.
play it on your Switch.
Because then you'd be like, okay, what if I just played Super Mario Brothers and be like, oh wow, this is a much better video game.
It is a much better video game.
I got a much better appreciation for Super Mario Brothers when I was playing Mario Brothers 35.
Mm.
And like just playing those levels over and over again and like kind of like understanding the nuances of them and like actually learning how to play that game for real. So like that really gave me a good feeling and like just a better understanding of just how that game is. And like obviously it's an incredibly influential game,
A little bit.
just a smidge, but yeah, it's real cool. There's obviously a bunch of different versions of it that are out there, some good, some very terrible. Like the Super Mario Brothers special version for like for some PCs, which is very bad. But there's also like the arcade version of it, which is a very weird thing in and of itself because it's different levels and everything, and you're just like, what is this? What is happening here? But yeah, Mario Brothers is cool.
Very good.
Super Mario Brothers, it's cool.
And as a side note, my mom has been trying to beat it since like 86, 87, something like that. She can't get past World 8-1.
World 8's
Hmm?
an MFer.
Yeah. Yeah.
It ain't easy.
It ain't.
And then you have to, once you get all the way to the end, you have to go to the 8-4 puzzle.
Yeah.
And that's not easy.
I mean, I'm really impressed with her that she gets to 8-1 like consistently.
Yeah.
I'm pretty impressed by that. Good job, Mom. One day,
Round of applause.
one day, Mom will beat Super Mario Brothers. I believe in her.
Exactly. Up next, we have the first Super Mario Brothers 2, which is the Japanese version that came out.
Mm-hmm.
I think this slots in under Super Mario Brothers because while it basically is Super Mario Brothers again,
Yeah.
this is obviously infamously the game they basically were like, well, people liked Mario Brothers and beat it. Let's make this game harder.
Yep. Yep.
And that didn't necessarily make it a better game.
Nope. Nope. It sure did not. But
And they took forever to put this out in America because they're like, oh, Americans aren't going to play this. This is too hard.
we didn't get into like Super Nintendo, right?
Until Super Mario All-Stars, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Which even then it was like the SNES remaster, quote unquote, which so it wasn't like the actual like original version.
Right.
But yeah, it's weird. It's a weird game, but also like I don't know if it's good.
I mean, like, speaking of weird games, Super Mario Brothers 2 USA is also a very weird game, but in a very different way.
Yes. Obviously, most of you are going to know the story about how this was originally a game called Doki Doki Panic.
Yep.
That got reskinned from Japan into Super Mario Brothers 2 for the U.S. audience, or the U.S. and probably Europe audiences as well. Basically, non-Japanese audiences. And that was the canonical Super Mario Brothers 2 for a good long time.
Yes.
Until we learned, oh, right, there was another one of these.
There's another one, yeah. But it's got playable Princess, it's got playable Luigi, playable Ted.
Mm-hmm.
Which I was trying to think about this the other day. It was like, okay, so Princess has her float, which is broken and amazing. Mario's like your all-arounder. Luigi has a higher jump.
Which they took from original Super Mario Bros. 2.
What does Ted have?
He picks up things faster.
Okay, what a useless skill.
I mean, hey, it's Ted.
It's Ted. Dang it, Ted.
You have played more of this than I have.
I played a lot of Super Mario Brothers 2 USA.
Where would you put Super Mario Bros. 2 USA?
Do you want my honest answer?
Well, obviously, yes. I'm going to guess you're going to put it above SMB 1.
I would put it above SMB 1.
Mm-hmm. I think, sure, I'll take that.
It was a very creative game. Like, obviously, it wasn't meant to be a Mario game originally, but, like, it did a lot of stuff for the series that I thought was really cool. That, you know, it's still around. You know, we still got Birdo hanging around.
Shy
Guys. Like, there's some stuff there that's, like, been a big part of the series. And also, like, I've mentioned this several times around the world. It meant so much to me as a kid to be able to play as Princess.
Right.
It meant so much to me because I was like, oh, I get to play as her. Yay! So it's like super, super, super exciting. And also, like, not only did I get to play as Princess, she was the best character in the game. She's super broken.
Yeah.
So it was like, cool. Not only is she great, she's also amazing, like, gameplay wise. Woo!
Woo!
Woo! So yeah, that is where I put Mario Brothers 2. You know, it's all a dream. Not like that.
It was all a dream.
Never happened in any other series that Nintendo did ever again.
No, of course not.
Nope, never ever.
So yeah, up next we have Super Mario Bros. 3.
Well, this one's easy for me.
Okay, I would like to hear your opinion on this.
I would put this at number 1. Our current number 1.
Okay. I would put this at number 3.
Really?
I have tried multiple times to play Super Mario Bros. 3. For whatever reason, I just cannot get into that game.
Sure.
I don't know, like, what it is about it or what it is with me, but just, like, for whatever reason, when I try and play, like, the original game, like, I just cannot get into it. Like, I've played multiple SMB3 levels in, like, Mario Maker and stuff like that and enjoyed them fine, but just the original game just does nothing for me.
Game though. It's a very good game.
Oh, all I heard was game though. I was like, what?
So if I would say it's number 1 and you would say it's number 3, so do we put it at number 2?
I think we can compromise and do that.
Okay.
Like I think SMB1 is probably is a better game in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
None of these are going to stay where they are anyway. Things are going to slot around.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, wait. Wait. Oh, right.
Especially because of what comes next.
Yes. Following that, we have Super Mario Bros. 4, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, that is correct.
Yeah.
Super Mario World. Perhaps one of the greatest games ever made.
I agree.
I'm just going to just do this.
That one just goes at the top easily. Like,
goes at the top, yeah.
that game is so fun. It's still beautiful. Like, the game is very, very pretty. Like, it still plays really, really well.
Especially for a launch game for the Super Nintendo, like, it still holds up.
Right.
Amongst that catalog.
We have to shamelessly sacrifice Yoshi a lot, which is very sad. But also we got Yoshi, and he's our fun pal. That
punch him in the head a lot.
Punch him in the head a lot. Yikes! So much animal abuse. You get the super creepy princess sprite that happens when you're playing the final boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that sprite. This is also like the first time that the princess was like blonde, right? Because she was blonde in the artwork.
Right, but she's like brown haired most other places.
This is the first time that I think her sprite was blonde.
Right.
Anyway, the game's great. Also, fantastic music. Holy shit, the music.
First video game I ever played.
That's you ever played?
Mm-hmm. We got a Super Nintendo, and it came bundled with Mario World.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
That was the very first game I ever played. It's just
That's a banger way to start.
It's a great way to start.
It's a banger way to start. You're just like, well, video games are the greatest thing that ever existed. And then
basically.
Then you play other games that are not Super Mario World. You're like, oh. Huh.
Mario is missing.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. How terrible it is.
But yeah. It was the pack-in title, and that was the first game I played.
Nice. Can't go wrong there, man.
Can't go wrong there, it's true. But where you can go wrong is this next game.
This is going to be hard for us. I know it's going to be hard for us.
Super Mario 64. All right, let's just slide this right under Mario Brothers. I'm kidding.
No. We are very divided on opinions of this.
Right.
I think this game was super revolutionary. I think it's a very fun game. I still play it a lot. I've played this game way too many times. I had a blast like walking you through it. Even though I'm still mad about how you caught that rabbit. I'm still mad about that.
Hey, when you're a Mario Pro, things just happen.
I also recognize there are elements of it that have not aged well.
Right.
I will fully admit that. So I love this game. I would not put it at number 1.
Nor should you.
No, I'm just saying, like, I would not do that because some people might think, like, Super Mario 64, number 1. No, like, it.
Now, Super Mario 64 DS.
Oh, God, no. Oh, God, no. If you're comparing Super Mario 64 and Super Mario World, like, Super Mario 64 has way more flaws.
One has aged perfectly, the other has not aged well at all.
Which is also just kind of a symptom of that era.
Yeah, 100%.
But I do still think it's a very, very fine game.
I completely agree with you in the fact that, like, this is a incredibly influential game.
Yes.
It is one of those games that when you saw it at the time was, like, mind-blowing.
Yo, I got
it
at launch.
What is happening?
I got this at launch. Like, imagine that freaking kid mind blow that happened there.
Yeah, exactly. It is obviously a different story when you play it after the fact and when, like, you've seen people's experience of it or, like, you know the quote-unquote experience of it.
Right.
To where, like, you're not going to have that same...
It doesn't have the wow factor as much.
Right. I think we can compromise here.
Okay.
What if we put it at number 4?
I was thinking number 3, but I will accept number 4.
Because like I said, I have problems with Mario Brothers 3, but I think if you're looking at it in terms of how games have aged,
Mm-hmm.
and even though like Mario 3 was probably as well, it was very influential as well. Obviously, like they
Ab-
made a full
absolutely, yes.
they made a movie for a fake Nintendo Direct to show off that game. Mario 64 has obviously, I think, just aged less well than Mario Brothers 3 has, and like a lot of these games, it is aged more poorly than any of these games on the list. But at the same time, you have to look at just how influential this game was to the industry as a whole. And that's definitely still going to carry some weight, regardless of how it plays or how it looks or any of that.
Also, just as a side note, because it's funny, because of the way that Mario is modeled in this, he has like a freaking dump truck of a butt, and that makes me laugh. Like, good for him. He's been doing his squats.
He's the booty man.
He's the booty man. Wow, the next game on this list, speaking of games that did not age well.
Oh boy, Super Mario Sunshine. Another divisive game. Or divisive game, I should say.
Divisive, yeah.
Controversial game.
I played this when it came out, and I liked it. I liked it. I have tried to go back to it multiple times. It does not play well. Like, that's one thing that 64 has going for it, is it still like is a very competent game. You can still play it really well. Sunshine does not have that feeling at all. And good God, the slippery mechanics. Like, don't make me platform when you're going to make the floors slippery in every single section. Like, it's grass. It doesn't need to be slippery.
It's wet grass. Not wet glass.
I mean, that would be slippery. Legitimately. Yeah, I think there's so many better Mario games than Sunshine.
Yeah, like I have not played this game, but I've watched a playthrough of it, and it did not look good in the slightest.
Was that the like Giant Bomb one that you
Yeah.
talked about? Yeah, I watched them play through it too, and I was like, yeah, it looks like their experience is about the same as mine. It's just
When there are parts of that game where like it just doesn't make sense, and the game is also just like broken in ways where like you can just fall through platforms that you shouldn't be able to. Like it just doesn't seem like it's good, and like just the water controls and all that sort of stuff doesn't look like it's aged well in the slightest.
Nope.
It was an ambitious idea, obviously, but it's one of those things where you can look at it now and be like, yeah, this didn't work.
Nope. It did not work. So where does it live?
That's a good question.
I would put it below the original Mario.
As the very bottom of the list.
No, the original Mario, like Super Mario, sorry.
See, I was thinking maybe put it under Mario Brothers 2. Because at least Mario Brothers 2 is a competent made game.
The Japan one?
Yeah.
Here? Okay, I'm fine with putting it under there. Yeah. Wait, I love how we're having to clarify. Like, Mario Brothers, the first one? No, Mario Brothers 2? Wait, Japan?
There's too many Mario games that have the word Mario Brothers in them.
Too many.
Too many. So yeah, next we have the first game on the Wii.
Mm-hmm.
Super Mario Galaxy.
It's a good video game.
They definitely took what they did from Sunshine and were like, all right, let's not do that.
Well, that didn't work. All right, let's rethink this.
Let's try again. I played a little of this game.
Mm-hmm.
Like I rented it one time, so I didn't get super far into it, but I remember enjoying what I played of it.
It is very
And obviously,
fun.
I think popular opinion of this game is that it is one of the better 3D Mario games out there.
Period.
Like you would probably put that or this, and then Odyssey is like the top 2, I would presume.
I would put Galaxy 2 as the better of the Galaxy.
Fair. I have not played that game, so I don't know like exactly what the public consensus on that game is, but like at least one Galaxy game up there, and like maybe Odyssey as well, and then probably 64 is in that mix as well somewhere as well for some people.
Yes, 100%. Galaxy and Galaxy 2, like, they're just both super, super charming games. In terms of like how they play and how you like operate them with like the Lumas and things. We got the introduction to Rosalina. This was the first Mario with an orchestrated soundtrack, right?
I have no idea.
90% sure that's correct. 90% sure.
I mean, it would make sense. It's like the first game with actual CD-based technology.
Yeah. True. Okay. I just remember like
came on.
being mind blown by the soundtrack when it came on because it had like all the like crazy sweeping like orchestra music. I'm like, whoa, this is wild. Oh, my voice cracked. I'm sorry. But as I mentioned a second ago, I personally think Galaxy 2 is a better game than Galaxy 1. But they're both very, very good games.
Where would you put them on the list? Because I guess we could just put them both on there right now, because
they're kind of tied together.
Yeah.
They functionally play the same for the most part.
Yeah.
They made some tweaks in Galaxy 2 that made it better. I would put them both above 64.
Okay.
The question is, do they go higher? I might put them below World.
And you can split them up, you know. If you feel that's necessary. If not, then, you know, do what you need to do.
I mean, I think they're both like super fantastic games. So like I don't really see a need to split them up yet.
Okay.
But yeah, I would personally put them below World.
With 2 being first and then the first thing in Galaxy 1's below that?
Yeah, Galaxy 2, then Galaxy 1 below that.
Gotcha. All right. And then after that, we have the debut on the Switch, Super Mario Odyssey.
Speaking of charming video games.
That is a very good video game.
It is a very good video game.
It's got that corn.
Yeah.
That looks great.
It's got that
New Donk City.
New Donk City and that festival in New Donk City that was so cool. Has the moon, the literal moon.
The moon.
The moon has Mario in a wedding outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah. This game, I don't know how they're gonna do a better Mario 3D game than this. I don't know how.
Yeah.
Because Odyssey was just like peak. I'm sure they'll be able to do it eventually, maybe, probably. But like, this is what a Mario 3D game should be, absolutely 100%.
It's very good.
It's very good.
It looks great. All the levels are very unique and different from each other. And there's so many just random things you can do in all those levels.
Yeah, you got little quests and things.
All the, like, the different costumes you can get
I forgot
that are like weird nods to other Mario games and everything. It's just it's all very good and just really well done.
Yes. I also thought that it was a really clever nod to have like Pauline as the mayor of New Donk City. Like that was really, really cool. That was a nice touch.
I agree.
Bringing her back.
Where do you think this slots in on the list?
Dose?
I was thinking that as well.
For those who do not speak the Espanol, that is number 2. 2.
All right, well, that's the main series basically down.
Okay.
Let's take a look at some other stuff that also came out.
Okay.
that you might not necessarily consider as mainline games,
Mm-hmm.
like Super Mario Land for the original Game Boy.
I have
I
played it,
believe
but I've not played a lot of it.
this might have been a launch title, or at least like very close to launch.
That seems like it would make sense.
It is a launch game for the Game Boy that came out in 1989.
Wow. Game is almost as old as me.
It's a very simplistic take on Mario, obviously, because
Yeah.
it's on the Game Boy and everything. They definitely do, I think, a lot better in terms of like design and art design and everything when they go to like Mario Land 2.
Right. I agree with you on that.
Soundtrack in this game though is great.
Yeah.
That's probably like the biggest selling point of this game is that like the soundtrack is just really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And they do a lot of just like weird stuff with the land games in particular, with the, like taking things that you wouldn't really expect in a Mario game and like kind of just throwing them in there all willy nilly. Like, oh, you're in a spaceship and you're shooting stuff, and it's like, what? That's not Mario. It's like, well, it is here.
It is now, kids.
It is now. But at the same time, it is the first iteration of these games. And while it's still playable, like I think it isn't like necessarily aged poorly. It's not necessarily the one of the two games on the original Game Boy that you would maybe want to go back and play.
Right.
So I would maybe put this under original Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers.
I was thinking it was Super Mario Brothers underneath that.
I like how we had to clarify again.
Yep.
Super Mario Land. And then, of course, after that was Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins.
A better video game.
Yeah, the controls are a lot better. The art style and graphics are a lot better. The music's definitely different compared to the original game. The variety of levels and places you go in the game are also very different from the first game, whereas like they just do a lot more gimmicky stuff here, which I think works as well, especially for this series in particular. And they're able to really pull it off a lot better here. You get Wario as a villain.
Ooh.
Because he wants all that money.
Monday.
But yeah, like this is definitely a much better game than Land 1. But where would you put it on the list is the question. I was thinking above Super Mario Brothers.
I think above Super Mario Brothers works.
All right.
Sorry, I did some adjusting so that I could keep everything on one screen.
No, that's fine.
Cool.
6 golden coins. After that, we have Dr. Mario.
He's a doctor now.
You know, in between all those Mario Brothers games, he went out and got his doctorate.
No, he got a medical degree.
Yes, excuse me, a medical degree. So he could fight the viruses.
Grr.
I mean, this game is just essentially Puyo Puyo.
Yeah.
But with pills and viruses. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's got that one song that's good, but like other than that, it's all right.
That one song that's good.
It's Chill or Fever. I don't remember which one it is.
I don't remember either, but I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, this game's okay.
It's fine. Yeah, I mean, it's fun to play occasionally. Once again, a game that my mother is disgustingly good at. Like, she's insane with the color matching type games. Like, she's so good at them. And like seeing my mom play Dr. Mario as a kid was just stupid impressive.
Your mom should have went and did some like Dr. Mario money games and went on the circuit.
She should have. She's good at that stuff. Like, you should see her play like Candy Crush now. She's disgusting. How does she do this? I'm not good at these games. Anyway, Dr. Mario's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think we could put it under Mario Land.
Yes, I was going to say there's no way it tops Super Mario Brothers. No way.
Dr. Mario.
Dr. Mario.
After that, we have Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars, the game that was made by Squaresoft in a very wild deal that definitely isn't going to happen again.
Ever. Never, ever, ever.
I have not really played much of this game.
I have played probably way more of this than you have.
Definitely.
Because I've played through it to completion probably like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
Which I think tells you a little bit of what I think about it, but
it is definitely one of like if you look at like some of like the non-mainline Mario games that you might consider spin-off series or whatever, like this is definitely one of the more popular ones, and one that like, you know, when the Switch Online stuff came out and they were like, we're gonna put Super Nintendo games on there, everyone's like, put this game on here, what are you doing?
Super Mario RPG.
Yeah.
And like the Smash Brothers chuds have been asking for characters from it forever, which is never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Don't even stop asking for it. Gino's never going to be in Smash Brothers. I really like this game. Like really, really like this game. I think that the art style of it is really neat. It's got some very fun characters. Like Mallow is a really, really cool character. He thinks he's a frog, but he's a cloud. Those are 2 very different things, but it's fun. And as basically everybody's aware at this point, like, I love JRPGs. Whoa. So like that's what this is. JRPG, but with Mario. Also, there's a sleeping Link in it. And a sleeping Samus.
They would obviously go on and do Paper Mario, but that was kind of a byproduct of them not being able to redo the agreement with Squaresoft, because obviously Squaresoft went and did and made their deals with PlayStation. So the Paper Mario kind of came out of that instead of this being Super Mario RPG 2.
Betrayals.
Betrayal.
Yeah, so like again, never gonna happen again. But it's got like a clever story. It's got fun gameplay. Like I said, I really like the art of it a lot. It's actually aged surprisingly well. I played through it last year for funsies, and I was like, yeah, this is still an extremely competent JRPG. I like it a lot. So I probably have way different thoughts on this than you would.
Well, I've only played like a smidge of it, so.
Right. So I want to know where you would put it.
I have no idea. That's the thing.
Okay.
I don't really have a good enough like knowledge of the game to really give an opinion, so I will defer to you in this case. And if I think something's egregious, I'll be like, "Hey,
what are you doing?
What are you doing?"
I would personally put this above Super Mario Brothers 2 USA.
Okay, I think that's fine. I don't think that's super out of place or anything.
Straight to the top. Beat Out World.
I don't remember what the subtitle is.
Legend of the Seven Stars. Sorry, I moved it too fast.
You did. You were too speedy.
Too speedy.
After that, we have New Super Mario Brothers. This is the DS version, the first version they did of this series, which notably I think was a thing because, like, you know, they had been doing so many 3D Marios at the time. A lot of the 2D Mario stuff was either like, you know, the RPG stuff that they were doing with like Mario and Luigi and Paper Mario and all that sort of stuff, or it was like re-releases of the old games that they were putting on GBA and stuff like that. So this having the new title and obviously meant like, oh, we're making new 2D Mario, which was a big deal at the time. Obviously, I think that series kind of went on a little too long, and they basically didn't do a whole lot to innovate it as they went on with more games with the new title in it. But for the first one, I think it was an interesting concept to be like, all right, let's make a new 2D Mario game, specifically in the vein of the original first 3, and see how that plays in, 2005 2005, 6.
2006.
You know, so many years after the last time we actually tried and made a 2D Mario game.
I think you're right. My negative feelings towards this version of the series, I think, comes later, but it bleeds
Yeah.
into this one a little bit because I'm like, you started this, you monster.
Wah.
It's an abomination. That's the worst thing that could have ever happened to the Mario series is the wah-wahs. Period. Fight me. God, it's annoying.
You're not wrong.
It's the most annoying thing in the entire universe. Like, if I have to play a Mario game and hear that wah-wah again, I'm just gonna, like, throw my entire being out into the ocean. I don't even live near the ocean, but I will do it. I will fling myself so hard because of the wah-wahs. God, I hate it. It's an abomination to gaming. Anyway. Rant over.
I mean, like I said, you're not wrong in that aspect. Like, the wah stuff is bad.
It's bad.
And especially it gets more egregious in, like, the second game that they put out.
Yep.
They just went full with it, and it was like, this is not a good idea. What are you doing?
No. And it didn't even really play well. But the first one was fine.
Yeah. I think the first one's fine. It did a good enough job of just trying to recreate that nostalgia and the feeling of playing new 2D Mario games. But I don't know if it's necessarily like, oh, I really want to go back and replay this game.
I would never replay it, no.
Yeah, so I think we're thinking bottom half of the list here.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But, like, where do you think... What do you have as an idea of where this would end up?
Maybe above Dr. Mario?
Okay.
Would you accept that?
Yeah, I would accept that.
Okay.
All right. After that, we have Super Mario 3D World, the 3D game that they put out on the 3DS, obviously to take advantage of the 3D capabilities of the 3DS. I have not played this game personally, but I feel like a lot of people who have played this game would tell you that this might be one of the most underrated Mario games out there.
Very good game.
It is definitely a Mario game. They did put out that re-release on the Switch recently that had the Bowser stuff with it as like new stuff, but yeah.
It had
people say it's good.
It had cat suits. Come on.
It did have the cat suits.
The cat suits are great.
Cat Mario.
I will say that I've played this game many, many times with friends.
Mm-hmm.
And playing this game with like 4 players all at the same time is so fun.
Yeah.
It is a very, very fun time. A+ would recommend. It is a fun, competent game. Can't even be mad at it.
What a glowing recommendation. Fun, competent.
Well, some of these games are not competent, so
You're not wrong.
I had to put that clarification in there that like I very much enjoy this game.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
Where would you put it on the list though?
That's what I was trying to figure out. Above 64?
Okay.
I wish it had online so that I could play with friend.
Yeah.
Although you would probably try and murder me a lot.
Oh yeah. You know how we play games.
Oh yes. I definitely know.
Oh boy. Up next we have Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, the Mario and Ubisoft collaboration real-time strategy game that came out on the Switch.
I had no right to be this good.
With the sequel forthcoming. Yeah, I think that's the big thing that came out of this game, is that like it was a surprise of how well it was made and like how fun it was.
Mario got a gun.
Mario had a gun.
He got a gun, but like I was annoyed by the Rabbids by this point, so I was like, "Oh, great, Rabbids."
Yeah.
But like this is a surprisingly good video game.
It's very charming.
It's very charming. I had so much fun. The rabbits were not obnoxious. Like they toned them down enough that I was like, okay, this is fine. Which is good because they needed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And like that gameplay, holy crap. Who would have ever expected that to work with Mario? Like who? Who would have expected that?
Right.
It was really, really good.
And it helps. It's like very light tactical stuff in there. Like it's not a full blown tactical RPG as the same as like a Fire Emblem is or something of that nature.
Right.
Like it has to be kind of lesser than that
It
because
has to
you're
be
trying to cater
accessible.
towards a whole lot more people than Fire Emblem does.
Mhm.
And they're really able to pull it off well.
Yeah, it still has some challenge to it, but it's still like not extremely frustrating. It's accessible, but it's still really, really fun. And like you have a good time figuring out like how do I actually make like how do I pull this off?
Mm-hmm.
How do I make Mario go blap 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 with his gun?
Blap blap.
Mario's got a gun.
Glock.
Who let this man have a gun?
The Rabbids.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
That's why they shouldn't be trusted.
Never ever. And they just take over your identity and take over your life, and then you're just stuck with a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, where would you put this?
Whew, boy. That's a good question. How do you feel about number 6?
I'm all right with number 6.
Okay.
I think that it is a good enough game that it should be at the top. I was impressed. I can't wait to play the next one. We were just talking about that before we started recording. Like I'm really
Whenever that comes out.
real excited to play that second one whenever it decides that it's going to exist again.
Up next, we got Mario Maker, the first one. One of the big reasons why you would buy a Wii U. Mario Maker. They made a game where you could make your own Mario game levels.
Yep.
Which sounds absolutely bonkers,
Yep.
and it worked incredibly well. Like obviously there was issues with like, getting your levels out to people, level discoverability and all that sort of stuff, but like the charm of this first game was just so well done.
Nintendo doing things with online that doesn't make
Fair.
any sense. What?
Fair.
What? Nintendo would
And, like,
never.
The 3DS version of this game is bad.
Yeah, I believe that.
But throw that in the garbage. You don't need that one. You got the Wii U version, which is good, but I don't know if any of the online server stuff is even working anymore on that, which sucks.
Probably
But,
not.
like, yeah.
Also worth mentioning, just for funsies, they had Baby Metal.
Yeah, I was about to mention that, like all of like the slew of guest characters that they put in this game for just weird reasons of like, I don't know, do you want to make Mario into Baby Metal or into a car or into Sonic the Hedgehog or Mega Man or characters from Nisekoi or just whatever you want.
Yes, 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 yes.
And it was like, all right, cool, let's do this.
It was great. Like they even had like Baby Metal like voice lines for it.
Yeah.
It was funny. So Mario was always Baby Metal for me. Always.
It was just an incredibly cool concept that worked incredibly well.
So my issue is that I like playing other people's levels.
Yes.
I'm not creative enough to make my own.
That is a fair complaint.
So that's a bummer. I wish that I were better at it, but I really
Yeah.
do like seeing like some of the creativity that people are able to like bring out with these. Cause like, let's be real. Some people use Mario Maker 1 and 2 and like they made better levels than Nintendo ever could have.
Yeah, totally. Like, there's so much variety and just like diversity in all these levels that are out there in both these games. Like, you can have like the weird auto run levels. You can have more traditional levels and all that
Music
sort of stuff.
levels.
music levels. There's like Kaizo levels if you want that. There's just weird stuff if you want that as well. Masochistic stuff, obviously.
Nope.
It's just there's so much in these games that are just, you know, banded together from fans and everything that it's one of those things you look at and feel like this is a very un-Nintendo thing. Because, like, they don't understand the internet. They don't understand how people play games. But somehow they made this and it worked.
Right. It's a baby metal.
And they put baby metal in it, which is also very weird.
It's very, very weird.
Oh, man. I think this goes up high on the list.
Okay. 1 or 2 or both?
1.
1.
I would put this at the number 3 spot.
Ooh. Can I make a compromise with you?
Okay.
Can we split the galaxies and put it between the galaxies?
Sure.
Okay. I accept that.
Yup. Okay. And then there was Mario Maker 2.
Yeah?
Which, you know, at first glance, you're like, hey, they made another Mario Maker game. That's great. That's awesome. Well, there's some problems with this game.
Okay.
The level discoverability stuff is still a problem. They didn't fix that at all.
Yay, Nintendo.
Sharing levels is still a painful experience.
Yes, correct.
That's still a problem. Creating levels is not as easy as it was on the Wii U, where you had, you know, the controller being a touchpad, obviously.
Right.
Obviously, the Switch itself can become a touchpad, but it's not like you have a stylus that comes with the Switch that makes it easy to just, you know, freehand draw all this stuff. They did, you know, try and make the actual, like, handheld controls better in that aspect to, like, make it easier to create levels that way, but, like, it's just not as good as just being able to, like, freehand draw, like, all right, I'm gonna put the ground here, some platforms here, and just doing all that stuff with just, like, a stylus is so much easier to do. They added new, like, tile sets for, like, all of the games, including stuff that was never in some of the games. So, like, there's new Koji Kondo music for, like, Mario World and Mario 3 and, like, all that stuff, which is wild to think about.
That is very wild.
They added in 3D World as a tile set, but then, like, that was kind of it. They didn't do anything else new, which was kind of a bummer. Because you would think, like, they would try and do, like, oh, Mario 2, which they kind of did. They put in, like, a power-up that makes you kind of do Mario 2 stuff, but it's not like the Mario 2 tile stuff.
Right.
So it's not fully there. Guest characters are all gone, except for, like, a couple that they put in, like, Link's in there now that you can use the Link sprite, like, legitimately, which is cool, but it's not like this whole gaggle of guest characters that are in the game as well.
No
they
baby
eventually
metal.
added in, like, yeah, none of that. They eventually added in, like, a world maker where you could kind of string worlds or levels together to make, like, an actual world, which is a cool concept, but I don't know if they really did that well in hindsight. Yeah, like, this game's still good, but it just never hit the same highs that Mario Maker 1 did, which was unfortunate, I think. And it's probably a reason why they probably won't make another one of these.
Probably.
Which is another unfortunate thing, because, like, you could have made a whole series of, like, other games of franchises you have.
Other makers.
Yeah, exactly, but then that's probably not gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, the closest we got is, like, the new Link's Awakening, like, Dungeon Maker, which is still...
Right. But if you wanted, like, a Zelda maker, you wouldn't just want Link's Awakening tile sets. You would want, like, you know, Legend of Zelda,
Link to the Past.
Link to the Past, Link's Awakening, whatever else you wanted to do.
Minish Cap.
Zelda 2.
Yeah, Zelda 2.
So, yeah, like, I think this game it's still good, like I said. It's just, it never could replicate the same experiences that the first game did, which is disappointing in the same vein. I think you could put this game in at Number 8?
Sure.
Okay.
I had to make sure there's nothing like super egregious there.
As we narrow down our list to the final 2 games, let's talk about a weird game.
Okay. Do you mean we haven't been talking about weird games?
We're talking about a weirder game, and one that doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Oof.
Super Mario Brothers 35, the 35th Mario Brothers game, obviously. You know, a lot of people forgot about 5 through 34, but, you know, you got to keep up with the series. Where have you been all this time?
Where have you been?
Mario Bros. 35 was a battle royale Mario game that they put out in conjunction with the 35th anniversary of Mario, right? Sounds right.
Yep.
It was a limited time thing, and it does not exist anymore. You can't play it, which sucks.
Nope.
Like, I kind of miss that game.
Do you?
Yeah. It was a fun little thing to play every now and then. Just be like, I'll just throw it and play some Mario. Some chaotic Mario. Because this game got chaotic at times, as you could attest to.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it wasn't perfect by any means. It wasn't great by any means. But also, it was cool in a way that, like, shouldn't be cool. Like, a Mario Battle Royale game seems like it shouldn't be a thing. And also, it's an idea they stole from indie developers already. So, that kind of working against Nintendo. But, like, it was an interesting idea, and it worked well. And it sucks that they pulled it because of their stupid digital scarcity they were pulling off around this time. Between the 3D World collection of 64 Sunshine and Galaxy, between the Fire Emblem game they pulled as well.
Yeah.
Like, all that stuff sucks.
I don't remember which Fire Emblem game was pulled.
It was like one of the NES ones that they translated and then like sold it very briefly before never selling it again.
Right, I remember which one you're talking about now. Oh, yeah. That was a bad stage. No, don't go back to that stage. Don't.
Yeah, don't worry. They'll probably just get back into it, or not get back into, but they'll get into like NFTs or something.
Blech.
Just do some other dumb decision. So yeah, like.
But
this was a cool idea. It was fun, but it was also just incredibly weird. But a good kind of weird.
yeah,
A kind of weird that Nintendo needs more often than not.
fun experimental weird.
Yeah. I think we can slot this in under Super Mario Brothers.
Okay. I accept these.
And then finally, we have New Super Mario Bros. Wii, which is essentially another entry, in the New Super Mario Bros. Series. This game was on the Wii, obviously, because it has Wii in the title. So it did. This is a game that had like the first iteration of a new Super Mario Bros. With like 4-player co-op, I want to say.
That sounds right.
And then basically they just remade this game on the Wii U and then on the Switch.
Yes.
That's kind of it. I don't know if I ever played this version or not. I might have. I just don't remember. But like,
Wah wah.
Yeah. Wah on the Wii. Wah.
This is like one of the worst ones in my opinion. But as you heard earlier, I went on a giant rant about the new Super Mario Brothers bit.
Correct.
So I will continue my absolute utter hatred of it. The game was fine-ish. No, it wasn't. It wasn't even fine. Like, I don't know. I don't like the art style. I don't like the wah-wahs. The gameplay's all funky. I had an ex-boyfriend who murdered me in it, which was really annoying.
Well, that's not. Who would ever do that to you?
To be fair, though, like, it's different when your friend murders you and your boyfriend at the time murders you.
That's usually what they say in crime dramas as well.
Okay, but imagine this. Imagine this scenario. You ready?
All right, imagining.
You are playing New Super Mario Brothers Wii with your significant other.
Okay.
Your significant other picks you up in the game and throws you off of the edge while you have to hear wah wah over and over and over and over again.
I don't know. That sounds like a great time to me.
Does it? It sounds like torture. I'm pretty sure it's against the Geneva Convention. I'm pretty sure.
It's a war crime.
It is a war crime. I'm pretty sure it's a war crime. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm pretty sure it's a war crime. Anyway, what I'm saying is New Super Mario Brothers Wii is a war crime.
Well, there you go. That's a bold statement.
I would put this below Sunshine.
Oof.
Yeah. That's where I would put it. I don't know if you want to save it from me, but
I don't care.
and that's our list.
That's the title, right?
No, but that's fine.
That's fine. So yeah, we have gone through 22 games. Don't you delete my... Okay, that is fine. Let's dive through these games from bottom to top.
Let's do it.
Number 22, Mario Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Number 21, New Super Mario Brothers Wii U Switch Remaster 2 War Crime Edition. At number 20, Super Mario Sunshine. At number 19, Super Mario Bros. 2 Japan. At number 18, Dr. Mario. Number 17, New Super Mario Brothers. Number 16, Super Mario Land. Number 15, Super Mario Brothers 35. Number 14, Super Mario Brothers. Number 13, Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. Number 12, Super Mario 64. Right in the middle. Fair.
I'm actually pretty pleased with how that landed, considering the differing opinions on 64 here, and I think it landing in the middle makes the most sense.
It's completely fair.
Mm-hmm.
Number 11, Super Mario 3D World. Number 10, Super Mario Bros. 3. Number 9, Super Mario Bros. 2 USA. Number 8, Super Mario Maker 2. Number 7, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Number 6, Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. Number 5, Super Mario Galaxy. Number 4, Super Mario Maker. Number 3, Super Mario Galaxy 2. Number 2, Super Mario Odyssey. And number 1, Super Mario World.
Congratulations to the tier list here.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, what I'm getting from this is that you need to play Super Mario RPG.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, whenever I have an easy way to do it.
Do you not still have your NES?
I do, but it's a pain to set up.
Okay.
And the controller, the cord on that controller that I have is very tiny.
Oh, okay. See, I got an extension for it.
So it just makes it more of a pain. So I'm just hoping one day they'll put it out on the Switch online stuff, but I doubt they will. And I'll just be like, all right, well, Mario RPG is a game.
Sure is a game. It's a very good game.
Sure is a game.
Yeah, Super Mario World.
Also a game.
We both are in agreement that is the best Mario game. Easy. Gonna go throw Yoshi into the abyss and get hit by the charging chucks. Jerks.
Wah, wah.
No, none of that. No wah-wahs. Nope. Worst thing that ever happened to Mario, wah-wah. With that nonsense. Two things Nintendo needs to get better at. Well, many things Nintendo needs to get better at. One of them being, do better with internet. Good lord.
Yeah, that's not happening.
And 2 is get rid of the wah-wahs.
Yeah, that's not happening.
No, no, no. They hate me. That's all it is.
It's true.
Eh. Anyway, we talked about some Marios.
We did talk about some Marios, yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to do it for this week's podcast. We talked about Marios. We ranked some Marios.
We did. People are probably going to
Mario.
disagree with us.
Chris Pratt.
Ugh. Sorry. I should not
This is
have had
Miyamoto.
forgot about that tweet.
This is the definitive list of Mario.
This is Miyamoto.
Oh, man.
I should not have had that visceral reaction to Chris Pratt, but I definitely did.
No, I think he should have.
Yeah, Chris Pratt's terrible.
But yeah, that's going to do it for this week's podcast. If you'd like more from us, head on over to seasonalanimecheckup.com or sac.cool, where you can find past episodes of this podcast and other podcasts like Jared's Now Watch. You also find columns and reviews on the site as well. If you'd like more from Anladium, go to anladium.com. She's got columns and reviews. You can find us on Twitter and TikTok at Anime Checkup. You can buy our books, One Shiny Moment, a critical analysis of Love, Life, Sunshine, and Hot Tubs and Pac-Man on Amazon.com. And you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/SACOVA. Buy us a slice of pizza, get access to unedited versions of the podcast early, and a whole wealth of bonus content as well.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, we're going to talk about a Korean drama, because it's our podcast, and we can do whatever we want.
Exactly.
So look forward to that.
Mm-hmm.